Hello and welcome. I am Carly of Carlystration and I will be showing you my designs for the MERMAY challenge this month. I did the 4 seasons and I ended up making 4 designs in total based on spring, summer, autumn and winter. I really like how they turned out and we're starting off first with spring. Now I didn't want to just make them generically what their seasons were. I wanted to bring out the personality of the season into the character design because that's the whole point of a character design. You make them into a character that people can relate to, that sort of thing. So I tried thinking of what represents spring from like a style perspective and colour palette and also just like personality. So obviously you got spring, it's new, there's a lot of baby chicks running about, so life and all that stuff. So I wanted to make quite a young mermaid, very pretty and cute, and I kind of wanted to bring out more of a mermaid feature to the designs. Like, obviously mermaids are half human, half fish, so with the spring mermaid, would she prefer salt water or spring water? And obviously she prefers spring water or fresh water. Can survive in salt water but is not particularly fond of it. So keeping that in mind and going back to my notes from my sketchbook, I got these adorable sketches and quite a cute story based on the Lake Loch Ness, where she would have had this adorable little pet, which is like a mini Loch Ness monster, and it would kind of be like her little guardian as she went around all of the fresh water like lakes, kind of like spreading spring around, as I've decided that the 2 flower based buns on her head would actually be linked to her abilities when it comes to controlling spring or helping spring bloom. And so for this challenge, after I got all my notes, ideas and sketches down, I decided to make a character sheet for her, just so I can get a full concept of what she would look like at all angles, and even put in a few expressions here and there just to kind of grasp how she would react. I found this is really good when designing characters. It's very good to like picture how they as a character would react to like certain things. Like with her personality, she has become incredibly cheeky. Not only is it because she's young, and obviously she kind of brings spring into bloom, but she also kind of left to her own devices because of this. So all she has really for companionship is her little Loch Ness companion, who is very cute. And as you can see here, I went into a little more detail with her design as my ideas developed. And a really fun thing I like about her personality that I think I got quite well through the design is that she ends up getting the ability, or she has a bad habit of pranking humans. And I kind of like to think as a backstory that she is the reason there is like the Loch Ness monster myth or folklore, because she was able to trick everyone and it was like an absolute accident, but she really found it fun. And so ever since then she has been like the cause of like when there's like strange phenomena in like lakes. She has been the cause of that and she finds it very amusing, which is quite cheeky and cute, and I believe that fits well in with spring. When it comes to her design that I'm inking right now, I really like how she came out, especially with the flowers on top of her head. They're quite a big key feature as she is the spring mermaid, and they do, you know, react to her power as where she goes, spring is formed. As when she's in the water, she kind of purifies it in a sense, and that's when the flowers really open up and just make the water really, really nice. I suppose I don't think that's how seasons really work, but you know, this is fantasy. You know, we can do what we want. When going back to my design, I tried thinking of the fact that she is quite young and childish and cheeky, and that's very cute. But also, spring is kind of a time for nurturing as well, so I tried making her look a little mature. It's kind of a very strange thing to try and, bring up. I thought if I made her like a cute little blonde, that would help. But then I thought that's a bit too childish, especially if she's meant to nurture spring. So I changed the colour scheme a bit, and I wanted to keep it fairly simple, but definitely have pink in there and hopefully kind of connect the colours of all mermaids together. But that was just a rough idea at the time of this design. And next up we have the Mermaid of Summer. Now, as you can see here from my very rough mood board and my sketchbook ideas, I had an idea of what I wanted her design to look like from the very beginning. I wanted her to be very long and have a very powerful tail, because I imagine obviously she's going to be in salt water, very different to the spring mermaid who will live in more fresh water, as whenever I think of summer, I think of the beach. And so because it's summer and the beach, it's all about like having fun, and it's just a very nice time to get out and, just do everything pretty much. But in some of my sketchbook sketches, I found she was becoming kind of sultry. I think that's the correct word. I didn't want her to be like the alluring type of mermaid that would, strand you out at sea. I didn't want her to be that, but I had a feeling that she might turn out that way if I'm not careful. So I tried coming up with like a personality based on her design and the thoughts I had in my head of what she would be like. And I kind of like the idea of she's the mermaid of summer, but she's also heavily connected to the ocean. And so she would have like the power to control coral or something like that. And I thought that would be really cool, and maybe because I feel so bad about the fact that a lot of coral is actually dying, and it's just really sad, I kind of wish this mermaid had the ability to heal coral and also kind of grow it and control it. I know that has nothing really to do with summer or the seasons at all, but I want the coral to be, I want the coral to be okay, and I can do that through this design in the fantasy world that she lives in. So yeah. So with all this in mind, I start on her character sheet, and I definitely wanted to give her a completely different body to spring, as she is going to need a larger, more powerful tail to get around all the different oceans and make her way to every kind of type of beach there is, because I feel like she would definitely enjoy going to the beach. And I really wanted her to just, how do you say the word? Ignite a carefree spirit that's just overall very curious, but not in like the childish way, if that makes sense. I liked the idea of like when we go to the beach and we collect seashells, and we're very fascinated by this. And I liked the idea of her watching humans do that, and then she ends up like pinching stuff from people's like beach bags, like a bikini top or like sun cream or something like that. She doesn't know what it is, but she really likes it, and she kind of takes it like how we take these seashells. And I thought that was very cute. I also really liked this idea when it comes to her coloration of her being connected to spring a bit through the pink and the yellow. And I also really like the idea of her having markings, kind of like tan lines. So she's this lovely greenish turquoise colour, and she's got loads of different markings. I wanted to kind of give the visual effect of freckles with the little spots and just the whole lines down her body, kind of resembling tan lines, but they're just her natural body markings. And overall I really like that, and I thought it was super cute. Now this mermaid, the Mermaid of Autumn, I wanted to spice things up a bit and make him a guy with absolutely gorgeous flowing hair that he would wrap around his neck as a scarf, because the seasons are getting colder. I really liked this idea, and his design changed obviously a few times before I came to this idea, but I just really liked the idea. I don't know where I've seen the hairstyle of it being tied up at the front and being worn, you know, kind of a reverse ponytail or whatever it's called. I just thought it would be really cool, and it would kind of give me an excuse to start drawing mermaids with long hair, because in the spring and summer it's kind of like a hassle to have long hair. It's very hot and annoying. So I really liked the idea, and I stuck with it. And I think he just looks very like, I don't know how to describe him, but he's very dapper. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. But I really liked the idea of him living in, he can kind of connect to the seasons where he can live in both fresh and salt water, and he kind of like travels around, mainly going through like fast rivers and stuff like that. And he kind of travels around. He also likes to take things from humans and kind of give them to the other seasons as well. And I just thought that would be really cute. And that's why he's got like a big bum bag on the front of him, and his jacket has pockets. I also like the idea of his ears kind of sprouting off kind of like dead leaf branches, just to kind of like give him that more autumny aesthetic of like things are dying, the harvest is coming, and I really liked that idea of like him being the like autumn adventurer sort of thing, and I thought it was really cool. I had trouble with his colour scheme. It drove me nuts. I didn't want it to be too standout-ish, but overall I think in the end it turned out pretty good. And last but not least, we have the Mermaid of Winter. With this design, I really liked the idea of her being quite an isolated character, and due to that she'd be very shy and have long beautiful hair that she could hide in. And I really liked this idea the more I worked with it. I really wanted her to stand out from the other seasons, so she would definitely be the odd one out with her design. I liked the idea of her being like fluffy instead of scaly, like how the other mermaids would be scaly because they're related to fish. Well, maybe she could be like a part of a seal fish. I like the idea of her being fluffy in order to keep warm, and maybe she only has the seals and other like icy friends like penguins and polar bears. That would be really, really cute. However, I know I can't have her completely isolated from the other seasons, so I thought giving her this nice warm looking jacket, and it could have been a present from Autumn, who had been able to venture into the icy cold waters in which she lives for a short time, to give her a present. And it would be like just really cute and wholesome. And I feel like because she doesn't get visitors very often that can like talk, she'd be like the closest to Autumn. And because Summer obviously couldn't deal with the type of temperature that she lives in, and Spring is just kind of oblivious to everyone outside herself. So in making her character sheet, she didn't really change all that much. I definitely tried doing different things with her tail, trying to make it look like she could survive in a very cold environment. So obviously you've got the long hair, and I wanted to make her fluffy as well, similar to the seals, because they're just so freaking cute. And yeah, I ended up doing that a lot with with everything. I just tried making her seem very warm, despite the fact that her colours are going to be very cold. And obviously I wanted her to have like spots and all that. And that obviously with the jacket, I just wanted it to show kind of like a bit that there is some autumn in there connecting them. And those are my 4 mermaid designs for the Mermaid Challenge. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun. And if you want to see the full designs and their character model sheets, check out my Instagram, my Twitter and other social medias. And let me know what names these characters should have, because I am terrible at naming and I don't know what to name them. So got any ideas? Let me know. And I hope you're all staying happy and safe, and I'll see you next time.